guitar play with an in-your-face attitude.
I hope there's beer at the top of the hill, that's all I can say.
It was fun, and the hills are brutal, but it's a good race.
Almost 600 courier bicycle riders from around the world took over the streets of San Francisco for the 4th annual Cycle Messenger World Championship.
Some people hate us because we don't obey the law all the time.
The 4-day gathering opened with what they called critical mass. That's a ride of the downtown streets to show bicycles have as much right to the road as cars.
You have to be a free spirit. You have to be the type of person who basically doesn't conform, but you can't be afraid.
The couriers have come to San Francisco from 24 countries. Many Europeans are sponsored and wear team uniforms. But for most riders, it's a come-as-you-are party, and maybe win some bragging rights.
Just to be #1, basically, or just to prove that, you know, that you can do it.
Andre Matthews of Toronto is part of a large Canadian contingent and a veteran of these competitions.
Coming out to these things, it's like a courier convention.
This is a Le Mans start, and that's how all the races begin at this World Championship. The first 2 days are qualifying heats, with the top finishers advancing to the final.
This race is what we think the championship should be about, which is messenger skills, not just speed.
Messengers score points each time they make a pickup or drop-off. They must also make sure their manifest is stamped.
We wanted them to have a race specific to the city that they're in, so we gave them big packages and little packages and hills and all sorts of stuff so they could feel like they were in San Francisco working for a day.
Most people might call this Heartbreak Hill, but in San Francisco, it's just a tease to even bigger hills.
I go to the top of the hill, before my lungs are gonna come flying out.
Keep in mind, what goes up must come down, and down, and down.
It happens very quickly. It'll be like a 30-degree incline. You feel like you're on a roller coaster about to go off the end. And the trick is to basically sit as far back on the saddle as you can and just go for it.
The bottom of the hill proved to be a popular spot for spectators, providing lots of action. The end of each 30-minute heat is mass confusion. And if a messenger shows up at the final checkpoint late, he or she is disqualified. Andre had no problems with his timing, but unfortunately, he wasn't one of the lucky ones to qualify for the final. Canadian Aaron Mitchell of Victoria was a little luckier. He qualified for the final in his first visit to the World Championship.
It's kind of a shock to be here. There's some world-class people here, so it's kind of like a good analogy would be a high school basketball player playing with Michael Jordan.
For the final race, all the messengers gather in San Francisco's business district. The top 50 riders are here, along with everyone who survived the ongoing parties. Aaron gets some last-minute pointers from another Canadian finalist, Kevin Lehman of Toronto. And Kevin admits he's a little nervous.
A little, yeah, because I don't know the city, and I haven't even figured out north and south here yet, really.
It's finally time for the big race. Once again, it's a Le Mans start, but this time, there's no time limit. Instead, the slowest riders are eliminated throughout the race.
Now they need to stamp right across the top there.
Look, I just came from 8. I gave them all 3. He said, come here.
The riders must pick up or drop off parcels at each of the 8 checkpoints. But just like on the job, there's often confusion. On each lap, the bottom racers are eliminated because fewer envelopes are handed out. Here, Aaron arrives at the checkpoint to find out he's been knocked out after 2 laps.
There's some really, really strong riders out there, big calves, guys who've been doing it for 5-6 years, and so that's a tough course to compete on.
Timing is everything in this final, as Kevin Lehman discovers. He was at this checkpoint on time, but was slow with his paperwork and was eliminated.
You gotta get your sheet out. You're done, guys. You're done. We have no more packages. We have no more packages. You're done.
There were even problems at the finish line. This German finished first, but was later disqualified for missing a drop. These American and Swiss racers crossed the finish line together and ended up sharing first place. And the top woman coasted home somewhat uncertain if it was all over. The ending was somewhat anticlimactic. All the riders gathered to say goodbye, look ahead to their next big bash, and reflect on those killer San Francisco hills.